Should you be meal planning? That is the question of the day. Hello, this is Aishan, aka the Omnivorist. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner in Paris, France, and I'm passionate about helping busy moms recover their energy and vitality through real food and healthy habits. And welcome to my weekly series, Ask the Omnivorist, where I answer your questions about health and well-being, health and nutrition rather, every Friday morning. Now today I wanted to get a little more practical than usual and talk about the notion of meal planning. And you know, if you're not doing it already, maybe try to make a case for you as to why that might be a good idea to start. So, you know, have you ever found yourself, like, let's say, home with the kids at 6 p.m., everyone's kind of tired and cranky after a long day and really hungry, and you're wondering, like, oh my God, what do I put on the table? What are we going to eat tonight? That is not just frozen pizza. Now, the problem with this scenario is that, first of all, it happens way too often, including myself. But by the time you find yourself in this situation, it's kind of too late already. Okay? It's really too late to be doing anything that's going to be nutritious and you know, that's going to make everyone happy. So this is where the idea of meal planning comes in, okay? And let's face it, I mean, even for those of us who love spending time in the kitchen, who love cooking, finding ourselves in this kind of situation, it's just, you just want to kind of shoot yourself. It really is no fun at all. So this is why, you know, when you do something, when you can kind of look ahead to the week and kind of have an idea of what you're going to be eating ahead of time, it can really save you so much headache and even time, actually. So what is meal planning exactly? It is basically a system of looking ahead and planning your meals for the next week, and then, you know, organizing yourself in according to that. So, like I said earlier, this could be as strict or as, you know, as flexible as you would like it to be. It really is up to you, as long as you don't find yourself in that situation at the last minute and you just have to, like, you know, call takeout or something like that. So if you do take the time to do this, kind of get ahead of yourself a little bit, you will be saving yourself really, I mean, time, you know, hassle and money as well, because you're going to be, you know, wasting less food that way. And I know that for myself, it is actually quite a challenge to do it regularly, even for myself. And I know that if I'm not doing it, the weeks that I'm not doing it, I'm definitely being penny wise and pound foolish with my time. Because if I took the time just a little bit, like a few days before, it would make such a big difference to what we do, like when the weekday comes. So let me tell you a little bit what my own process looks like, but I am always, you know, finding ways to improve upon this, and of course this will change from person to person. You can kind of, you know, pick and choose what you like here, and then you know, make it your own process. So I have a list of our family's favorites, like, let's say, seasonal favorites, because it changes with the seasons too. So I keep a list of those dishes on an Evernote sheet, which I also share with my partner. Of course, this can be anything. I mean, this could be a Google Drive, a Google Doc. It could be an Excel. It could be just a piece of paper. It could be, you know, on your fridge, that you have a list on there on paper, for example. It could be whatever works for you and your family. And also, I'm only planning on dinners, and I will rely on leftovers and other kinds of basic items for the other meals, for breakfast and lunch. Then we'll try to take maybe 10 minutes on Friday, or at least over the weekend, to look at, first of all, what we already have on hand that might go bad, that we will have to use up pretty quickly. And then we'll look at the list of our family favorites and kind of decide ahead of time what we're going to eat each night. And of course, if you're going to be eating out, or, you know, relying on leftovers and things like that, you should be noting those as well. Now, if your kids are old enough, definitely incorporate them into this part of the process. They will definitely love having a say in what you're going to be eating. And also, because you are, you know, you're the one kind of deciding on the big list of dishes, you're going to make sure that they're getting a healthy, nutritious choice no matter what. But they will still feel like they had a say in the matter. So also consider the season. And consider the weather too. For example, in the winter, you might feel more like warm soups and broths and stews and that sort of thing. And as the weather gets warmer, you might feel like maybe cold soup or, big spoon salads and things like that. And also, finally, schedule a time for shopping, doing your food shopping, probably on the weekend, and then set aside some time, maybe like a Sunday afternoon, to do some meal prep and some batch cooking ahead of time. But then, of course, you could be continuing your cooking like in different moments of the week as well. But it's always best if you can, look ahead and kind of predict that a little bit. So I wanted to share a few of my tips with you that could be really useful when you're doing this. I try to prepare things like, salads and raw veggies ahead of time. Like as soon as I come back from shopping, I try to wash those things and prepare them. That way I can just pull them out of the fridge and they're ready to go. Or you can also make like a big batch of dressing ahead of time so that, making a salad really is a no-brainer. And you can also, those raw veggies, you can chop them, prepare them ahead of time because, if the kids are hungry, like they make for a great snack or a great starter dish as you're getting the rest of the food on the table, for example. You could also make dips ahead of time like hummus or bean mash or sardine spread, and that will go really well with with that stuff. Now, for Monday nights, I always like to put in a tried and true recipe because we have such limited bandwidth in the beginning of the week. So I really don't like to think too hard about that. So in the winter months, it'll be like for us, kuru fasulye, which is like Turkish style white beans. I know that's something both of my boys will love eating no matter what, so I can rely on that. And in the warmer months, we might do also like some Turkish dishes like zucchini or eggplant with ground meat, for example. They love that stuff. And also leftovers work really well for Monday night as well. So whatever it is that you kind of, that you have your one dish or a few dishes that everyone is going to eat without question, then try to book that earlier in the week because that's going to save you. I also like to get a batch of bone broth going, maybe Sunday or on Monday morning. If you have a slow cooker or an instant pot, you can just kind of set it up and forget about it, which is the nice thing about that. That way I can use that for my soups and stews and for everything throughout the week. And don't forget to delegate, okay? For each part of this process, the planning, the shopping, prepping, and cooking, see if you can get your partner, your kids, if they're old enough, or even your cleaning lady or your babysitter or whoever to give you a hand. If you have, like your onions and vegetables cut up ahead of time, it's so much easier to just kind of assemble those and actually cook at the end. Also, always try to have certain basics on hand. Things like steamed or boiled potatoes and beets, grains like quinoa or millet or buckwheat that can be cooked ahead. Also prepare your legumes like lentils, chickpeas, and beans, which means like, for example, you just soak them, you soak them for 24 hours with a little apple cider vinegar, or in the case of lentils, this could be just like 7 hours. And also you throw those into if you have something like an instant pot, again, it's really easy to prepare those in there afterwards. Lacto-fermented condiments, nuts and seeds, canned fish. Now, these are all things that are going to make it so easy for you to, even if you find yourself in that situation of, oh my God, what are we going to eat? It's so easy to throw something together that's delicious and really healthy with these things on hand. And you can also prepare these on a, like I said, like a specific time over the weekend, like Sunday afternoon. You take the time to do some of this prep. But then as you're going along your week, you're still thinking a few days ahead. So for example, let's say I'm cooking dinner on Monday night. I might think about the next few meals ahead and see, okay, what could I be doing? And let's say if I planned on making something with chickpeas, like I can already soak those as I'm cooking, or I can saute some vegetables while I'm cooking the dinner. I'm in front of the stove anyway, and that'll be really nice to have on hand for breakfast or for dinner the next day. And also, like I said, keep it simple. And this isn't just for Monday nights, but really throughout the week. Even if you love cooking, if you love trying new recipes, weeknights are not a great time for elaborate meals, okay? Really save those for times like maybe over the weekend and over a holiday where you're going to be able to spend more leisurely time in the kitchen. And on the weeknights, try to be as basic, as simple as possible, okay? That's really going to be key here. And also one last important thing. Take notes along the way, or even if it's just like a little picture with your phone, because chances are you're totally going to forget what worked just the week before, and those notes will be really invaluable to help you in planning ahead, okay? So once again, the name of the game is preparation. We don't get caught off guard. So like, as you can see with these tips that I gave you, you can go really specific, like every night you know exactly what you're going to eat, or it could be like a loose thing, or you say for the next few nights, this is what we're going to have, and then the rest of the time I have these ingredients on hand and I'm going to throw something together with those. You can be as loose or as structured as you want. That's the beauty of this system. The idea is just that you just plan ahead, you schedule ahead. That's the key here, okay? So that is what I have for you today. I really hope I have been able to demystify a little bit this whole meal planning process for you. And I hope that you're inspired to give it a go. And if you would actually like to do that in the company of a wonderful group of supportive women, make sure to join our free Facebook group, the Mama Reboot Community. I'm actually going to be launching a new meal challenge next week to begin planning our meals for the week after, so the week beginning June 18th. So the link for that is in the comments. Make sure to join our challenge, and I hope that you will give it a go. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you right here next time.